When the Battlehawks flew into St. Louis, fans had a ball. Despite what's been said,
we were told that St. Louis is not a football town.
The numbers speak for themselves.
We were number one in attendance, we were number one in sales, we were number one in TV ratings.
Sales spiked for businesses like Arch Apparel.
That was our highest Saturday takings as a store ever.
Same for downtown sports bar Jack Patrick's.
We don't do every Sunday, but we did for the Battlehawks. It was worth every penny. It was a profitable day.
However, the biggest opponent that year was COVID-19, wiping out the rest of the season. Now, as we approach 2022, the fun could come back into play.
We should maybe within the next month or maybe 2 months, we're going to be announcing our broadcast partners, which we're very excited about, and new teams, new cities.
New owners mean new moves.
We've heard that there were preliminary discussions with the city to see if we could get dome leases, if we could get all of the different employees back in place. Nothing has been set in stone.
State Representative Nick Schroer was on the Battlehawks Board of Advisors, and he continues to advocate for them, even writing this letter to the higher-ups.
I'm encouraging this new ownership group to bring the Battlehawks back to their home in St. Louis.
Schroer says if the Battlehawks come back to St. Louis, it could offer more job opportunities and benefit more businesses.
The hundreds upon hundreds of people that they employed, not only with the team at the practice facility and the parking garages, but the different vendors at the dome.
It's still up in the air, but St. Louis is ready.
We'll be ready with everything that we can do to make it happen, because that was, for our business, it was crazy. It was amazing.
The proof is in the pudding. Look back at what we did when we had the Battlehawks here. We're hoping St. Louis is on the list and making it to this new version of XFL.
Yeah, so what we know for a fact is June 1st, in about a week, they're going to start announcing the locations, the teams, and the names for the XFL. Now, we kind of know certain teams. Of course, the Roughnecks are going to have to change their logo, but we know certain teams are going to be certain places. We know Seattle's going to be there because they're one of the best drawing teams the XFL had. Also, the area is very good for ratings. That's one thing you want to have when you have competing leagues like the USFL. We know Dallas is coming back because one of the key teams over there, coach-wise, was Bob Stoops. In order to get Bob Stoops back, he has to be a place where they're going to have the central headquarters for the XFL and one of the hub cities. What they're going to do, they're going to practice in one city and then ship everybody else off for the games at their home cities. We know Tampa Bay is coming back as Orlando. So we know Orlando will be a big influence. They won Orlando last year, but because of the fact, 2020, because of the fact that the USFL had a team already there, they were not going to do it. Because you don't want to have two teams in the same market. You know what I mean? Round at the AAF, no longer around, they can go ahead and take the Orlando market. We know for sure St. Louis will have a team. We know the Battlehawks will be back because they were, quite frankly, the end-all, be-all of the XFL. The attendance they had was crazy, phenomenal. It was something that they can definitely lay their head on. So the question will be, what else do we need to know? Well, besides Houston, we need to know what other cities will be there. Like I said, we know Seattle's going to be there, but they have 3 more spots available. Now, one of the far-off dreams people have had is Portland. Yeah, Providence Park in Portland, Oregon, they shot their shot. You know, City of Portland wants a football team. Oregon wants a football team. this would be a good location to have a rivalry with Seattle. We know the team will draw. We know the fans are crazy as hell in Oregon. The question is, television-wise, will the ratings be enough to justify cutting Seattle's market in half? We know the battles will be great. Once again, we know the fans are crazy as hell. But the battles will be great. I just don't think it's enough of a market to put them there. Now, the stadium's fine. But that's one on the list.
But here are some numbers I'd like for you to see. The Commanders are averaging just under 30,000 per game. Now you compare that to UTSA, but perhaps more importantly, I want you to check that out. The Los Angeles Chargers attendance, just over 32,000. And then you take a look at the Cincinnati Bengals at 50,700. So you look at that and you say, hey, we're right there in the ballpark. And then you remember the time when Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans. The Saints came down here for 3 ball games. There were over 75,000 packing the dome for each one of those 3 ball games.
There are still 4 of the cities who threw their names in the hat. A couple of them are real contenders. Some of them, just because location-wise, they're in the mix because of the market. But I really don't think they're going to have a team. There will be the Atlanta area, which is right here shown during the Atlanta Legends the AAF game. Didn't really have a big attendance figure. Of course, XFL will draw significantly more than the AAF did. But not seeing Atlanta being there. The DC Defenders. That was a strong market. I think they averaged around 16,000 fans. We're going to see. I mean, we do know to have teams that are set in stone, but it's just those last 3 teams you got to figure out. This is one I threw in the mix. Apparently it is in the mix as well. Who knew? Austin, Texas. But Austin is really going to be fighting San Antonio. So even though I would prefer Austin, I really think San Antonio will get the last team out of those 2. And of course, there's Vegas. Vegas is on the verge of building a new soccer stadium. So the XFL will have a chance to be a co-tenant. We know playing in that huge Alliance field, Legion Field, whatever, would not be good for them long term unless they can build the team up. But for optics and this appearance on TV, it's going to be a soccer stadium field. 25,000 seat stadium with luxury skyboxes will keep this stadium going year round. MLS and XFL, which the community will love. Help bring more jobs, more stability to the area. Why not? I guess the last thing we got to look at is, as we watch the transaction list and waiver wire for the NFL, we got to understand the list that is going for players, for the invitee, for the tryouts, will be getting bigger and bigger. Because the XFL is going to be paying just a little bit more than the practice squad for the NFL, which is significantly more than what the USFL can afford to pay. So as these waiver wires, you see your favorite players like Felix Harper, knock on wood, hopefully not, but Kill Glass, players like that, roll down. Remember, there's another league out there. Maybe closer to your home, in the NFL league. Maybe, will be a lot cheaper than the NFL game. That will still have high talent football. you get a chance to, go to a showcase. They're open to the public. See who's going to be invited. I'll leave the link for the showcase list in the description. Actually, I'll put it as the pinned comment below. This link is fluid. It's updated by the XFL News Hub. And we'll see just who will be going to the XFL. Coach Simmons, you have a wonderful day. And Rocky, counting on you.